Congratulations, Prep 1-2s, you've made it. It's the end of term 3. So, just before we head off onto the school holidays, I thought you might like to have fun with chemical reactions. So, today we are learning to understand how chemicals react with each other to create chemical reactions. And to have success today, I'd like you to choose one or two of the experiments that I've listed that will cause chemical reactions and see what happens. Because what scientists do is they observe with their eyes, they listen with their ears. Sometimes, if it's safe, they smell with their nose, and sometimes they're allowed to taste with their lips, but not very often, okay? And also, they can touch with their hands. It depends on the activity what you're allowed to do, but scientists need to use their senses to see what happens and to record their findings. Now, the first activity that we're going to do today is called super cold bag. Now, if you do not use plastic, that's fantastic. You can just get a clear glass, but you might need your family with you when you do it. It's not going to be dangerous, but it's just you might want your adult assistant. I think having an adult assistant is always the best idea when you're doing chemical reactions. Now, but I do have a clip-lock bag, and I've actually washed it out and I reuse it. And in here, we're going to put, or in your glass, if you have a glass, depending on the size of your glass or your bag, ideally a much smaller clip-lock bag would be better, because then you wouldn't need to use as much bicarbonate of soda, and I'm using lemon juice. You can also use citric acid if you have it, but I didn't have any in the cupboard, but I did have some lemons. So I've actually squeezed some lemons. You'll need an adult to help you cut the lemon maybe, and then always ask first, and then you can squeeze your lemon to make lemon juice. So it's a little bit messy. If you can do this outside, that's even better, but I'm going to do it inside. So I'm just putting, this is a rather large spoon, you will see, I'm just putting a fair bit of baking powder on this very big spoon. Sorry, bicarbonate of soda, or baking soda I should say. It's not baking powder, it's baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. So I put quite a bit in. I might even put a little bit more in because this is quite a large bag. And we're going to watch what happens. So that's kind of like not quite 2 tablespoons of bicarbonate of soda. Now, if you're using lemon juice, you need to use about the same amount of lemon juice. If you're using citric acid, the same thing, about the same amount. But if you use citric acid, you'll also need to use a couple of teaspoons of water or tablespoons of water, depending on the size of your spoon. So I'm just going to very quickly use my spoon again, and I'm going to pour the juice into the spoon and then into the bag really quickly. And I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, I might put a little bit more in, but it's starting to make a chemical reaction. And if you quickly clip the bag, you'll notice something happens. The bag becomes quite, I'm just going to mix it a bit more. I haven't quite finished mixing. So I'm just mixing it up so that the lemon juice gets to all of the bicarbonate of soda. But if you notice, the bag is starting to fill with gas. And if you feel it, it's actually super cold. And if you use a little bag, what often happens is the bag pops open. So it's a good idea to do it outside. So this is the way, what we've done there, by using the citric acid and the bicarb of soda, we've actually created carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is a very cold gas, and it creates a cold liquid, and it's a gas, so it actually tries to escape the bag. So that's a chemical reaction with lemon juice and bicarbonate of soda. Now, the next one we're going to do is going to also need bicarbonate of soda. That's why I use a lot of it. A lot of people use bicarbonate of soda to clean with because it's super good at cleaning things. Now, you also need this time some white vinegar. Okay, vinegar is important because it is going to have the chemical reaction this time with the bicarbonate of soda. You could probably try it with the lemon juice and the bicarb of soda as well, but this is just to show you some different things you can do. Now you'll need a drink bottle, and this is one we've had for a very long time, since Maddie was young. When one time she had one of these. So you also need a balloon, and this is where your parent or adult assistant will come in handy, because you need to practice putting, the balloon on top of the bottle. Okay, so you just need to practice that a few times. If you've got more than one balloon, that might be helpful as well. I think I've only got one balloon left at home, so I've got to be really super careful with this one. Now, the handy tip is, to make this, you need to put, if you put 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda in here, because we're going to put it in here, you need to put 3 tablespoons of bicarbonate of soda, vinegar, I should say, in here. And I'll show you, because you're thinking, Mrs. Kelly's gone crazy. So firstly, I'm going to put the bicarbonate of soda into the balloon. And you might think, well, how can I do that? I know. I have a funnel. If you don't have a funnel, you could get a piece of paper, and there's a piece of paper just here that I can show you with, and just make a funnel with your paper so that it fits inside. So you just sort of make it like that so that it fits inside, and you can still put in the bicarbonate of soda. But I'm going to use, I have a funnel. We use that sometimes. So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon like this. So this isn't as much. Oops, I'm making a bit of a mess with the bicarbonate of soda. I'll have to use it to clean something when I've done this. So, right, there's 1 tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda, and we tip that into there. So it goes into the balloon. You'll feel that it's gone right into the balloon. So that means I need to, in here, put 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Okay. So again, I'm going to use the same tablespoon. So it's the same amount. There's a little bit of bicarb soda on this, so that's already having a tiny reaction. 1, 2, now you might be already thinking, I know what's going to happen. There's going to be a gas. And I wonder what the gas is going to do, because the gas, it's going to come out of the balloon. I wonder what's going to happen when we put the balloon on top of this little drink bottle. If you have a bigger bottle, and then you can just use more vinegar and more bicarbonate of soda. Now the idea now is to put the balloon on without letting the bicarbonate of soda out yet. So that's where you'll need your handy dandy assistant, your adult assistant. If you can do, and also if it doesn't work the first time, that's normal. Science doesn't always work the same first time. Sometimes you have to change it and say, well, I've learned from this that this doesn't work. Now I'm putting it down as far as I can, and you might need to hold the balloon in place. So I've popped the balloon over, but I'm going to have to hold the balloon at the top so it doesn't pop off, and that might give you a hint as to what's going to happen. Now we're popping it in. Oh, and look, the balloon is blowing up as the chemical reaction occurs in the juice bottle. So there we go. So there, oh, it's even gone up into the balloon, you can see. Now, there are 2 of the experiments. There are some other experiments there, and there's also some websites if your parents want to use them on the holidays. I haven't put them down for you to use, but they're in underneath the instructions if your parents want to have a bit of a peruse over the holidays. All right, well, I hope you enjoy your science experiments. Bye for now.